Hi class, let's take a look at another problem where we're doing work, but now we're using vectors. Now, don't forget to declare your variables. So in this case, as long as you declare a variable, that's fine. F is going to be the force and X the displacement. Now, the movement occurs between these two values. So technically, this is going to represent your vector P and Q, but it's not in actual component form. So the first step is going to be to find P and Q. So let me write it as find PQ. And then technically your vector P is equal to x1 comma y1, which happens to be 1 comma 3. And then the vector Q, or the point Q, is x2 comma y2, which happens to be 5 comma 9. Now, to express P and Q, in order for us to use the formula, it has to be in component form. So we're technically evaluating, in this case, 5 minus 1, or your x2 minus your x1, and 9 minus 3. So we're looking at our vector P, Q in component form to be 4 comma 6. Now, once we have the vector in component form and your force it's already in component form, then we can actually use the formula. So the total work done by the force, in this case, W is equal to your vector, or in this case, a dot product of F, and then P and Q. But remember that P and Q has to be in component form. So we're looking at 2 comma 3, and then we're going to find the dot product of 2 comma 3 with 4 comma 6. Okay, and then we're looking at the multiplication of 2 times 4 plus 3 times 6, or 8 plus 18, or the values of 26. Now, keep in mind that we're calculating work, so some units are or need to be stated in your final answer. If you don't remember the proper unit, in this case, the author is using foot-pound. As long as you put units, that would be perfectly fine. So your final answer for this application will be some sort of a sentence. And then in this case, I'm just going to rewrite it as total work done by the force F is 26, and this will be feet pound. Okay, so give me a minute. That's actually it for this problem. The biggest part of it is that the formulas that we're using, they're assumed, in other words, it's assumed that you're going to be evaluating the dot product, but your dot product, for your vectors to use here, we have to have them in component form. So not until we have this portion already done. That's actually it for this one.